Welcome back to my channel. I'm really excited to make this video for you guys. So we're going to be making leek soup. And don't let me forget to introduce myself. I'm Taylor Sprinkle. You can follow me everywhere on at Sprinkle Taylor. So follow me up, chat me up, comment me up. Okay, so let's get started. We are making leek soup, which leeks, I think leeks are kind of an underrated food, although when I went to pick them up, I think I purchased the lowest quality leeks I ever had in my life. So if you're just watching my makeup tutorial, before I did the leek soup, you know I ran to the grocery store and I wasn't going to go run around town. I was just headed to the grocery store that's real close. It is a King Soopers. So that being said, let's talk about leeks a little bit. This might be so boring. This is a leek. It is in the onion family. So it's got layers like an onion. They're really fine like a shallot. They grow in sand, so that's what you have to clean these for, which I'm going to show you how I clean a leek, because you have to clean the leek because they grow in sand. Really good. They're super tender. It's like a really thin onion, like a super thin onion. But this soup is, I think, worth making when you want to use a leek, because they're such a cute plant. And we can shout out to the leek farmers, keep this stuff coming. Also, something that was weird about the leeks at the store was that they had cut off the front part where the roots come out on a whole bunch of them, which I was like, no, you gotta leave the roots. Even if they come with a little dirt on them, that's okay. I trust that produce from the store is clean, even if it has dirt on it. But if that's cut off, I'm not going to buy one where that's cut off. I'm not going to. I think it would ruin it. I never have. I've never seen them with the tips cut off before either, which was really crazy since that all just happened today. And there's sand in these leeks, which I've never had leeks with sand in them before, but I've had them with a little more dirt down here, so I think the cleaning got focused on the wrong areas with these guys. So let's see where they're from. These are heirloom artichokes made by Ocean Mist. I can't read that. Larmy. Larmy. I have no idea what that means. So let me tell you how much these were. I decided to let you know how much I spent because I thought it was a really good deal. The leeks for 3 of them were $2.35, being the second most expensive item we have to use for this dish. Then the most expensive thing I had to buy was whipping cream, which I don't have out. It's a really small bottle. When we get it out to use it, I'll tell you what product that is. But that was $2.49. It's almost $2.50 for the whipping cream. So this is all pre-tax too. Then we have fresh parsley, which I already washed all this off and alcoholed my surface. But this is fresh parsley, and we'll use that absolutely last to garnish it. It's sort of garnished, you sort of mix it in a little bit, I mean, whatever you like. And then I decided I'm going to add garlic to this recipe. I have never cooked it with garlic before, but I think that it would give it a little something extra. I also have a jalapeno here. I already had the garlic, so I had a clove of garlic, didn't need to get one. Clove of garlic here runs about 50 cents, so I have 2 cloves off of it. There's probably 10 more. Would that make it 5 cents or something? 5 to 10 cents worth of garlic. And then my jalapeno, which was 7 cents. This whole jalapeno costs less than that garlic, and it just blows my mind that it is 7 cents. A plant grows a lot of jalapenos, but it's so hard to imagine that type of farming. Lastly, I was charged for a russet potato, which I didn't look at the screen to correct him that it is a golden potato, and it should have cost more than this. And I should have looked at the screen, I guess, but I didn't see it until I came home. No tax on food, I guess. News flash. So I didn't realize that there's no tax on food in Colorado, I guess, or my zip code. I guess I probably need to look that up too. I'll put it here. Our ingredients: salt, pepper. I was thinking about using a Pinzi spice, but I just don't think it's going to need it. It usually is just, I mean, I've never used a seasoning before. These two, the garlic and the jalapeno, are going to be extra here. So again, my total for all these groceries from King Soopers that I showed you was $6.95. There's no food tax, so we just paid straight up for these items, and we could add 5 to 10 cents for the garlic. So we'll just put total cost $7. And so the first thing I'm going to show you is how I cut all of these vegetables, and then I'll meet you right back here. First thing we're going to do the leek. So here we go. You are just going to cut the top off. Now is when the tip comes off the least amount as possible to get rid of the core. And that did not do it. It did not take the core out, but I am so close. Usually leeks are much bigger, and 3 leeks is enough for like a family of 3. I mean, if they're little kids, 4, but these are some really tiny, tiny leeks. So these, and now you're going to cut those vertically, right down the middle. So we've got all these leeks like this, and this is when you take them each individually to the sink and run the water over them and open up like that underneath the water spout, like that, and you just let the water run and run through it. So I'll do that off camera. They're all washed now. I did find one whole section that I had to just throw out because it was brownish, so I did do that. This is kind of tricky too. They're very slippery, so you want to cut it the long way. I would say like 4 times. And that's a dice, but honestly, I'm not the biggest fan of the dice. I mean, I do like it, don't get me wrong. Oh, this one is extremely slippery, and you'd rather have bigger chunks than risk cutting yourself. And I'm thinking that I want to do like this, because I don't mind getting a chunk of leek here and there, so that'd be okay with me. Okay, so that looks pretty good. So there's some chopped leeks. I'm going to show you how I chop the garlic. Maybe I should save these all for their own video, but I think I change these processes a lot and can show you how they evolve like everything else. We're going to cut this potato. And one last one. Really watch where your hands are. I need to tell myself that. Then I have the potato. So now you take your Santa dish, other on a paper towel. I'll take another paper towel. The moisture out. So now the jalapeno, you cut that first. And seeds and all, I just think we should have them too. So I'm going to cut the parsley now. I know you're not supposed to. You're supposed to do it right before you eat it. You're supposed to cut it. So I don't undo the bundle. I just leave the little tie. And you cut like half the bundle. Yeah. And then just like coarsely chop it. Not like a fine chop this time. There's that. That is nice. So we're going to saute the leeks in some olive oil to start, and then we'll add in the jalapenos and then a little bit of garlic, saute those up. We're going to do that. But first, we're going to start the potatoes because they're going to take the longest. Try them out in the Panasonic. Okay, so this pan will be fine. We'll just line them with a little tinfoil. And dump these in. I'm unsure if the Panasonic is going to dry them or if the Panasonic is going to crisp them, but we shall find out. So, we have a cast iron pan here. So, I need some olive oil. Did the hash brown on dark cycle, and it didn't do anything to those potatoes. So we're gonna try timed 10. It's California Olive Ranch Extra. It's sold at Walmart and some other places, but we got this at Walmart. You saw that in my Walmart haul. So there's some. Here we go. We're going to turn this on to, oh, this is a Burton burner. So I'm going to start it out on 4, spread it out evenly. And it's just before it smokes, and we can put a little tester in there. It's not that hot yet. We're not really looking for a crispy finish on these guys, and if we were, I would have used peanut oil, but I'm not looking for a real crispy finish on them, just translucent and maybe a little bit brown, but we don't want to, well, it's not butter. I always cook it with butter, so I didn't want the butter to brown, but oops, with a little olive oil. There's a much higher burning temp, but we don't want to turn them to mush because they are so fine. Might have got a little core in there. And I guess if I was watching this and I was like, well, what is core? Like, and how do you spot it? Like, I would be like, I don't know how to do that if I had never heard of a leek before. So, and I know leeks are just kind of weird. Like, I don't know if a lot of people that I've talked to anyways know about leeks. And it needs some more oil bad. When I turn that down to 1, I don't have half, and I put a pretty good amount in there because we have to go do some garlic still, and my pan is hot. That's weird. These are some odd leeks. I've never had any of these things. They are so delicate. So now I'm going to put another little bit of olive oil in the center. Let that heat up. Woohoo! Let that heat up. And then pour this in that middle part. Which is going to give it maybe an intense flavor here. My nostrils want to sneeze. Maybe I've ruined it. Typically you don't use garlic or peppers, and butter is what makes it good. But, oops, that looks pretty good to me for, it's going to go into soup, so it doesn't need to be like hard to pour. That was really fun. Okay, so that handle's not really hot. We've sauteed everything we need to saute. I'm pouring in some boiled water because I like things to be extra clean. And I'm gonna boil these. And I'm gonna put those potatoes in with that water. It's really not that much water. This is just soup for two. Oh, and I'll salt that water. I'm really questioning this pan at this moment. I don't know what the deal is. Okay, so scratch nay that pan. Plan B. So the water's boiling very quickly. Okay, so I've got the water boiling here. I'm going to put in my potatoes and try not to get splattered. The tin foil is protecting me. I was hoping for a little brown like that. Make it more maybe like a potato bacon soup where it has skins in there was my idea. I took those potatoes out after 6 minutes on 425, 220 Celsius setting. So they were on 10 there. I'm going to pull them back down to 4 so we don't boil off all the water. Okay, so these have been boiling for about like 4 or 5 minutes, and I'm just using my spatula, and they are getting like soft enough to just kind of break with my spatula, which is pretty soft. So we're going to turn it down because I'm probably not going to eat this for another hour. So we're going to go clear down to 1 already. Usually you break up the potatoes before you put in the leeks, but I kind of like it chunky a little bit. So I might just take my fork and kind of stab some of the bigger ones still, because it's easier than the spatula. Just kind of break them up a little bit, some of these bigger ones. I'm going to just put in the leeks, that whole mixture. We're going to pepper now. Some pepper is good in this. Okay, a lot of pepper there. Let's do another salting. So I have the cream here, which I told you I would show to you when it was time. Hopefully it's in focus. This is heavy whipping cream, a half pint. It was the cheapest one, and I'm shaking it up. And I think I'm only going to put like half in there because it is really calorous. It's got a lot of calories in it. 45 calories for every tablespoon, and it's 16 tablespoons in the container. So you really don't want to put the whole thing in for 2 people. That's a lot of calories to add to the calories that are already in here and good. So we're gonna just kind of pour a little bit, like I said, like about half. So how many calories does that make it? Whatever. So you put that cream in there, and I am just going to put the lid on this, setting number 1, and let that be until it's time for supper. We'll probably eat it at like 6 or 6:30, so I'm just gonna leave it on 1 until then, and then we'll add our little parsley flakes and call it good. Okay? Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this video on how to make potato leek soup and my potato leek soup look. You can subscribe to all my social media like I said before. All of my social media is at Sprinkle Taylor, and you can follow me on all of these. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye!